Hey guys, it's Di from BeingMommywithStyle, and we are back from our magical Disney holiday vacation at Walt Disney World. And I thought I would just do a quick trip recap today, kind of answering some of the questions that you guys had some of the Disney vlogs and answer some of those, and also tell you a little bit about the points that stood out to us, what we might do differently in the future, kind of the good points, the bad points, and let you know what we thought. But overall, I think you guys could tell by the vlogs, it was a really great trip. We had a wonderful time. I loved being there when it was all decorated for the holidays. The theme parks were gorgeous. I love seeing all of the holiday decorations, and it was really, really neat to be able to go to the Christmas party and just a very festive time. So that was very, very enjoyable. So the Disney vlogs are running right now at the time that I'm filming this. So there were some questions on some of the earlier vlogs that have run already. So I'll try to answer some of those, and if there are like questions that come up towards the end, I'll try to talk about those later on, and I'll be doing a souvenir haul and all those sorts of things as well. But in this video, I'll just do a general trip recap. So, the number one question I think people wanted to know is, what did we think about Caribbean Beach Resorts? So we really liked the Caribbean Beach Resort. It was gorgeous. It was, you know, the theming was wonderful, and I really, really liked the theming. Like you always see in all the reviews, it is a very large, long resort, and the kind of like so points for us were our location. When we originally had booked, I had booked a preferred room, and then I changed our dates ever so slightly to kind of fit our vacation schedules a little bit better, and I had to take some vacation days off because we did go on the cruise. And so when I did that, I lost the preferred room. If we ever stay at Caribbean Beach again, we will be definitely 100% getting a preferred room. So that was like kind of the number one thing for us. Is where we ended up. We were in Barbados 14, and as it went, it was 14, 15, 16, and then it went into another name complex, and then Old Port Royal was, the food court was like another like area down. So it was quite a hike to be able to go down to the pool, to go down to the quick service, and my husband requested if we ever stay there again that we be in a preferred room that is closer. Overall, the theming we really liked, the rooms we really liked. We had really great service there from all the different people that worked the different places there, so we really enjoyed all those aspects. But as far as like kind of the only so-so part was the location. Being so far out in Barbados, we would really prefer to be closer to the quick service so we could refill our mugs easier and things like that, and also be closer to the pool. So that is the only thing that would really change if we stayed there again. I touched on it a little bit in the videos, and I think I'll try to save this for a future video, but I did talk a little bit about upcoming trips and where we would want to stay. I did book a bounce back while we were there, and I was gonna leave you guys in suspense and let you guess or whatever, but you guys like nailed it. As soon as I talked about it in the video, all the comments that were referring to what I was talking about in the video were like, you should stay in Animal Kingdom because I think you guys would love it. That is what we were planning on doing on our next trip, and I think that there's 3 resorts that we'd like to stay at next. So I think that we would stay at Caribbean Beach again. It just won't be the next one, and we'll circle back around to it, I guess. So Animal Kingdom Lodge is highly on our radar, and it's what we've booked for the bounce back. Savannah View, bunk beds. I think the kids will love it. Another one that my husband and I talked about, and we definitely agreed, if we ever do a party trip, so where we're going to the Halloween party, Christmas party, anything where we will be in Magic Kingdom late, like guaranteed we'll be in the theme park late, we will be staying at the Contemporary, more than likely. Either the Contemporary or the Polynesian. Maybe the Grand Floridian when the girls are a little bit older, but I feel like probably the Contemporary would be the first out of those 3. My husband and I actually both really like the Contemporary, and the kids like Chef Mickey's. So while for some people the Contemporary might not be the best fit because it may be a little bit too bland or maybe like feel less themed, for us, my husband being an engineer, he loves that building. He loves it. In fact, I think he was slightly disappointed that I didn't book at the Contemporary, but I'm thinking that will probably be the next one, either Contemporary or Beach Club. And Beach Club is on my radar because I know that pool is really, really great, and you know, being able just to walk over to Epcot was great, so that's also on my radar. But for the next trip, I'm thinking Animal Kingdom. So did we like Caribbean Beach? Yes. Would we stay there again? Absolutely. If we did stay there again, it would definitely have to be a preferred room. There's just no other way around it. It was enjoyable, but it would have been more enjoyable had we just been able to pop over and refill our mugs without it being kind of like a logistical thing. So the other question that I got asked, in addition to what I thought about Caribbean Beach Resort was, can you explain more about the Amazon grocery delivery? Okay, so this is something new. It's called Amazon Prime Now. And Prime Now is for Prime members. So we're already Prime members that we use Prime at home all the time. It's like the one-day delivery service. And what Prime Now is it's grocery deliveries within 2 hours, only in certain markets. And Orlando just recently became one of those markets. So what you can do is you have to download the Prime Now app onto your phone. And this is what it looks like right there, actually, right next to my Target app. It's the orange one. And you get on there, you place your order. I actually had a code where I got money off for using it for the first time. You put in your resort zip code and your resort address, and it delivers it to Bell Services, and you can either go down to Bell Services and pick it up, or you can have the delivery guy from Bell Services drop it off at your room. And it worked wonderful. I mean, we had the food that we ordered. We got water, yogurt, cereal, and some other stuff, and we got it like in 2 hours. It was amazing. So I don't know if this is available in my market, but this would be something I would consider if I didn't feel like grocery shopping. It was amazing. There is a delivery fee. I think it was like $5, but when you're on vacation, especially if you don't have a rental car, 100% worth it, and it saves a lot of hassles. So I would absolutely do it again. So it's called Amazon Prime Now. And we really liked it. It was the first time we'd ever used it. Also, she asked, what do we think about Frontier? It was fine. It was the cheapest flight, I think, that was available. We were trying it just to try it. And we usually flew Delta, so there was a little bit of difference in the seats and everything. We did not, knock on wood, have any problems with any delays. Everything was on time. Everyone was courteous. We had no issues. The flights were a little bit bumpier than I'm used to, but I'm not really sure you can attribute that to the carrier. I mean, it could have just been the air that day. So would we consider them again? Yes. Am I 100% going to go with them again? I don't really know. I mean, I would probably just price out prices. For this time, we tried it and we saved a little money. Oh, well, that is the one thing. They did break our stroller. They broke our stroller, unbelievably broke it. But the way that my husband and I, we didn't even file a claim. The kind of conversation that we had was, they broke our stroller. This is the first time after about like 6 or 7 or 8 plane flights that's ever been broken like this. The front seat has like a footrest, and somehow they set something heavy on it, like back against itself, and it just, the footrest is broken. It should be able to like click up and click down, and it's just completely broken off now. It's still attached to the stroller by the fabric, but it's completely broken off. So they did do that. So if you have a stroller you're really attached to, don't bring it, I guess, if you're flying Frontier. But this was actually the last trip we were planning on bringing that stroller, so for us it was kind of a wash. My battery apparently decided I'd been talking too long. So anyhow, they broke our stroller, the front of it, where the footrest was supposed to go up and down, completely broken off, still hanging on by the fabric. But the kind of resolution that my husband and I came to, we didn't even file it with Frontier because we realized, the money-wise, we could have gone and bought 2 brand new double strollers and still come out ahead paying cheaper for the plane flight than if we would have flown Delta this time. So the tickets were super cheap, and this was the last trip that we were planning on using that stroller anyway, so for us we were kind of just like, as long as it still rolls through the park, we don't care. But our stroller did get broken by Frontier on the way down, so it was broken the whole trip. But it was still functional, where the kids could sit in it and still roll around and everything. So that was the only kind of bummer, I guess, that I would take into account for the future. For the future, what we are planning on doing, which I had mentioned to my husband, but no one ever listens to me, so I just said, okay, fine. He did not want to buy new strollers before this trip, and I tried to explain the bus situation, and no one listens to me, so we went ahead and brought the double stroller. What we will be doing next time is getting 1 or 2 umbrella strollers and taking those, because they will be easier to get on and off the bus, and also getting the double stroller. We were on the 2nd level of Caribbean Beach, which could have been rectified if I didn't know to request being on the 1st level. So if you have a stroller, when you put your room request in, request to be on the 1st floor. It just didn't even dawn on me. I just assumed there would be I would assume there would be elevators, but there was not. So that was also kind of a bummer. So the double stroller did become a cumbersome thing, but it was issues that would have been worked around. So it was a bit hefty for my husband to get onto the bus and off to the bus. So what we are gonna do next time is bring umbrella strollers, 1 or 2, just depending. I mean, obviously on our next trip, Bella will be a little bit older, so she may be starting to phase out of the stroller stage. But Natalie, for sure, I mean, we walk an average of 8 to 10 miles a day, so we're going to need a stroller, at least 1 stroller for a time period ahead. Plus strollers are handy because they hold all your stuff. So I really don't mind having the stroller. I move quicker actually with the stroller than without one. As there were times this trip where we did just park it and went and walked, and the kids did a lot of walking. But at the end of the night, when they're tired, or if you're trying to quickly get through crowds, strollers are really the easiest way to do that and bring all of your junk with you. Because we bring a lot of stuff in the parks. I had changes of clothes, I had fireworks headphones, you know, autograph books. There's a lot of extra stuff that you have with you. So those, I think, are kind of the main points of what we do differently. Dining this time was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. Okay, I want to do a whole nother video on the Disney dining plan because you guys do not understand how on the fence I was. I almost did not get it, guys. I was like, oh, should I get it? Should I not get it? It was supposed to just be a marginal amount of money that we would have saved. I think, and I would do the math before I do a video dedicated to it, we actually saved a ton of money doing the dining plan. Now the thing is that we're a family of 4 that does a lot of character meals. So right off the bat, if you do a lot of character meals, that works to your advantage for the table services. I told my husband what we should or shouldn't use snack credits on. He didn't listen to me occasionally towards the end. He just went and got water bottles. But obviously if you use those snack credits on like the bigger, more filling snacks that everyone can use, you end up with extra snack credits left over. We ended up towards the end, on the very last day, we bought a quick service meal, 1 or 2 for like friends that were coming to visit us, and some snacks and stuff. And at the end of the trip, we had one I had to go use up. So we basically worked it out to where we used our credits perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So the only thing I paid out of pocket for was the night at California Grill. I opted to pay out of pocket for that instead of using 2 dining credits, and I feel like we came out ahead. So we only paid about $1,000 for the dining plan. I probably spent about $100-something at California Grill, and normally I had been spending $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 on food, not really including the snacks. So I do think that we came out ahead, and I'll do a whole video, but we really like the dining plan and we are planning on using it again. I feel like it worked really, really well for our family. So I'll try to come up with like specific like talking points to go a little bit more in depth because I feel like it warrants its own video. We really like the dining plan. We also really like the refillable mugs. We would have preferred being closer to the refillable mug station, but they really were quite handy, so we really liked those as well. And also on the dining aspect, we really liked all of the dining that we did this trip. We had some new dining. We tried 1900 Park Fair dinner for the first time. It was hilarious. The stepsisters with my girls were hilarious. They hit it off wonderfully. The food was really great. We really liked Ohana Breakfast. That was another one, a new favorite. The food was great. The characters were great. The only dining we did not do that the girls asked about was Chef Mickey's. They did ask, like, are we going there? And I was like, no, I don't have that booked for this trip. So that was one that they kind of were asking about. The only one I really missed was being inside the castle for Cinderella's royal table, but obviously if you are on the dining plan, it starts to become not such a great deal or use of your credits. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. So I want to kind of do a separate video, I think, on all the dining, like going over our experiences and a little bit more in depth. So I want to do a separate video, I think, on all of the dining experiences and a little bit more on depth in the dining plan and what we thought now that we've used it compared to when we paid out of pocket a number of times, because I feel like that is just a really huge long video all in itself, and I've got to get going anyways to go pick up kids at school. So all in all, the trip was marvelous. We had a great time. We loved Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We went to 2 parties back to back and it was fantastic. I mean, I knew going into it I was gonna love it. I mean, it's a festive, wonderful time. So I'll try to do a recap of just those, a recap of just the dining and the dining plan, and then we'll also have a souvenir haul coming up for you guys as well. But that's basically what we thought about the trip. It was pretty much all pluses. The only kind of so-so points were our distance away, the location of our actual spot in Barbados, we felt like we were a little bit too far out, and the buses were a little crowded after the party nights. And so that is why I think in the future, to kind of remedy that, we would in the future stay on the monorail loop if we ever do any party nights again. So all in all, a really great trip. We love staying on property. We will 100% always be on property now. So that's very exciting, and all around a great Disney experience. So let me know if you have any questions down below. I will try to talk about them in future videos. I also have Vlogmas coming up, so I can work in like a trip question and answer, or just some of the answers to the questions in the Vlogmas videos as well. And hopefully you're having a wonderful holiday season and enjoyed all the videos. Thanks so much for watching today, and have a great day.